Welcome to today's video. This is Captain Jason with Fish NFL. I'm a full-time charter captain here in Tampa Bay, Florida, and today I'm going to go over some redfish fishing tactics that will make you a better red fisherman. So stay tuned, and if you like fishing and anything outdoors, and especially fishing related and tips and how-tos, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can get all of the details and all the videos that are going to be launching here shortly.
Got a nice school of redfish right now. We got everybody. Thing's a beast right there. Good fish right there. All right.
So you want to catch more redfish, and you finally got on that big school of redfish. Now what? That's what we're going to talk about today, because I see a lot of people fishing with me in schools of redfish, and you can just tell immediately that this is not what they do very often. And I'm out there all the time, so there's nothing against you guys, but I'm going to shed a little bit of light on how you can get on large schools of redfish and be successful, because large schools of redfish usually will feed. Tip number one is do not chase the redfish school. If you happen to bump them up and they're running, they always run upwind. And you will notice this if you pay attention, or if you've ever been on a school of redfish before, they will always run from you upwind, which means that now you are pursuing a fish that you cannot cast in front of. And you have provoked a predatory response in them. Basically, they think you're like a dolphin. And they're not wrong, because we're trying to catch them. So now you have a game of cat and mouse where they have an infinite place they could go hide. So what I like to do when I find a school of redfish is a couple things. First, I stop whatever I'm doing and watch. Watching a school of redfish, trying to see their attitude, trying to see where they're going, where they want to go, and if they're feeding or if they're in a resting state, is gonna make you be able to notice a lot more things about them. Two, if you're seeing where they're going and they're not going upwind, which I'm almost guarantee you that they are going to be swimming upwind, and you will be downwind of them because they are good like that, is if you sit and watch them for a minute, you can see where they are heading, and you can start a plan of attack to get around them and in front of them and be set up before the school of redfish even knows you're there, giving you prime casting opportunities at fish that will probably more than likely swim right up to your boat, which has happened to me numerous times this week. We had people chasing the schools of redfish. I've been on them almost every day, so I know what they were doing. So I went to where I thought they were going to go, and they literally were swimming into our boat because they didn't know we were there. And we hooked 3 at a time before the redfish even figured it out. When you guys are thinking about redfish and what they are as a fish, it's often easier for me to explain that redfish are almost like cattle that like to just graze the flats. They're constantly moving and swimming, looking for more food because they are ferocious eaters. So with that in mind, that's why my techniques: tip 1, never chase redfish. Tip 2, stop, be patient, wait to see what the redfish are doing so you can get in front of them and be there and slip in without them even knowing, is going to work for you, because that is what they like to do. They like to move up and down an area and feed the entire area. So if you watch them and know where they're going, you can beat them to it and sneak up in there and catch more fish. Tip number 3 to catch more redfish out of a school is to just take your time. Do not get in a rush. I see so many people put their trolling motors on high and go right over to where the school is, and that never ends well, and you're always going to be casting at tails and not mouths. So I just zoomed in on Google Earth to a random fishing flat that I like to fish, and I'm going to show you how you should approach a school of redfish. So let's go ahead and put wind plus current. are both moving the same direction, which it does happen. This weekend it didn't happen for me, but you know how that goes sometimes. And then we're gonna go ahead and do, let's say you're fishing the low tide with your boat, and you can't come in here because it's real shallow on this sandbar, it looks like. So you're probably gonna sneak into the flat somewhere right in one of these three ways. And then you're gonna wanna start working your way slowly into the current. So I would probably make my way and maybe fish these holes here. However you want to come in. Just make sure you fish all these holes. Fish these deeper holes, maybe bounce back out here. And this is how I fish if I'm looking for a school of redfish on a low tide. I'm going to just cover all the deeper spots because they like to be in those deeper areas. Now, let's say that there is a school of redfish like right here. They're like right here in these little holes. They're sitting in this little bit deeper grass right here. What's going to happen is when you get about right here, you're going to probably bump those fish up with your trolling motor. And what the redfish are going to want to do, I promise you, is they are going to take off into the wind. Every time. So you have a decision to make at this point. Do I chase these redfish? And as you know, that's not the correct way to do it. Especially with spooky redfish. You will spook the redfish. And they will know they're being chased, and you will not get bit. But if you sit here, just sit right here where you're at and watch where they go. So let's just say they're gonna go do something like this into the wind, and then you don't know where they went. When they got right around here, they kind of disappeared. So what they did is they evaded you, and they want to be here. The redfish want to be where you found them. So what you need to do is take your boat and get it in a position to where you can cast downwind of where you think the fish are going to be. So here's how I would do that. I would not go this way. Don't take your boat closer to where you just seen those redfish. Troll a motor out over the bar, down the flat, come in here. Look at this deep channel right here. And then sit somewhere right here and start making casts. Just start fan casting this whole area. So also a good indicator is just look for mullet. The redfish and the mullet always tend to stay together on that areas of the flat on lower tides. So if you guys do that, don't chase the redfish and try to set up upwind and up current of the redfish, you will catch more fish. You will catch more redfish, I guarantee it. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel. It's all about fishing and making you guys better anglers. So subscribe, like, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.